All right, beautiful. Here we go. Hello, gorgeous, and welcome to tonight's full moon ceremony, the full moon in Leo, February 16th, 2022. So, full moons, you may know, are all about a culmination. They're an ending point. And a lot of times we can be called to celebrate, to gather with friends. You might feel energized or excited around a full moon. That's usually how I feel. And on the other end of the spectrum, right, you might feel really emotional. You might be feeling heavy or more tired or really needing more rest. And if you are feeling more emotional, that's just your energy, your emotions, your body talking to you, telling you that there's something there that needs attention, that needs to be uncovered, that needs to be healed. So get curious about what that is and start to move that energy. You're here tonight, and I'm going to help you move that energy and everything connected to this Leo energy. But I welcome you to do that in your own private practice as well. Some of you may not know if you've never attended a full moon circle. They're a community event. A lot of us are catching the replay this go around, but when we do have more members live, we're able to open up the floor and express and be validated and just be heard and witnessed. So full moon circles aren't a time to give advice necessarily. They're a time and space to come as you are, show up, share what resonates with you, anything you want to get off your chest. And then the other members kind of just hear you and witness you and see you and thank you for your expression. It's also a time to come together in community. When women gather, there's more energy, as you can imagine, and it helps us manifest. It helps us release and really amplifies the energy around the intentions of the space. And overall, I always explain them as a very relaxing event. We're going to ground down, we're going to calm down. Certainly, we're going to move some energy, but I'm going to lead some gentle breath work and movement to help us ground down. And before I do that, we're going to talk about the moon energy specifically for this moon, what it is, how to work with it, and all the things. So if you don't already, you might want to grab a journal, something to write with, maybe your favorite beverage or some water. Create a comfy, cozy space, wear something comfy. And if you have any divination tools, any tarot decks, oracle decks, crystals, anything, feel free to bring that along as well. And you can bring in all of the elements. So if you have incense or sage, a candle, water, something to drink with, and then your crystals or something solid. But yeah, let's tune in and tap into this specific full moon. So actually, maybe we should just get into the cards because I feel like the cards are going to explain it very well. So I like to lead with tarot cards and oracle cards. So the first card that came through tonight is the Two of Cups, which I love because this full moon in Leo is really inviting us to relinquish control, to let go, to lean a little bit more into our feminine, which is represented here in the number 2, and to rest. Create space to practice receiving. And when you rest more, you practice receiving. And what is manifestation, right? We talk about this a lot in my community, and it's 808 right now. 8 is a number of abundance, right? And Leo, we have the Lion's Gate in August at number 8. We've got the lion here. I digress. So that feminine energy. And when you rest, you're practicing receiving. And when you're receiving, that is a form of manifestation, right? You want to receive that thing you desire to feel or have or be. And resting can help you practice that and get into that and actually attract things to you. So sometimes we're just conditioned to think or believe a certain way of we have to do. It's only about what I can do and control and say and push forward. And sometimes that's useful and sometimes it's not. So that doing, pushing, moving forward is more of that divine masculine energy, right? But also the divine masculine is that kind of order and structure and routine and consistency. And this full moon is asking, are your divine feminine and masculine in balance? Are they kind of even toned? You're using both sides of them, both positive aspects. Are they outside and too heavy and on one end or the other? And your divine feminine, right? Your divine feminine here, your emotional body that can certainly be chaotic at times, but the divine feminine who desires to feel and be more flowy and kind of um, free with time and maybe a little unorganized and messy and expressive, but also receiving, open to receive and give love and nurture, right? And so this number two, we're in the month of February, number two, but also this number two is inviting you perhaps to welcome in those aspects of the divine feminine to feel. So when you're tired or when you have a heightened emotional reaction, get open and curious with yourself. You don't even have to have anyone else tune into this with you, with yourself, of how you feel. Where is that coming from? When did you first feel that way? What is the layer beneath this emotion? What am I feeling? What's the layer beneath that? What's the layer beneath that? What does the situation remind me of? And kind of see what comes up, give it space to flow and move. And that's how you get free from it. That's how you get free from the pattern. And sometimes it's icky and sometimes it's not fun, in which case you might want support around it. I help people one-on-one with this and in 1 hour sessions, or also in my 8-week program, right? But get some support around that to let it move, because it's time to come home. It's time to come home to yourself. It's time to create that space where there's more joy and pleasure and comfort and ease, and you get to create that. You get to create that and manifest that. Number two, inviting you to connect to your intuition and to new beginnings and creating this homestead for yourself, but a homestead within your spirit, within your body, to feel good on a mind, body, spirit level. And if your health is out of whack in some way, now is the time to really focus on your health. Is being encouraged by this card. And certainly balance the divine, feminine, masculine, and also your emotions, right? Your emotions, when left unchecked, when not allowed to express, when pushed aside, when pushed down, will get louder and louder and louder and grow and manifest into something physical. So if you have something physical going on, it can absolutely be related to your emotions, in which case, maybe call on some support like myself, like a Reiki healer, massage, doctor, therapist, like wherever you feel called, listen to you and go. Because it's blocking your intuition. You have this tendency right now of kind of second guessing. So we've done a lot of work in the last 2 years. A lot has surfaced to release and be healed. And this full moon is kind of the last remnants of that. We're finally releasing the last remnants of whatever's holding us back from creating that big vision that we have, creating the life that we want to step into with that freedom to do what you want when you want, right? And you feel there's this old belief that you feel like your intuition is blocked. There's just this pattern of overthinking and worrying, right? And you can turn this card upside down or right side up, rather, the moon card inversed. And again, that's by slowing down, creating space, but also balancing. So you also have that element here of balancing the divine masculine and feminine with the animals in this card. You have a domesticated dog and the wild wolf, right? And that's just saying, you can use both of these. You can use both of these with the emotions, right? You got to let them be wild and let them flow, and create some structure about how you do that. Is it through journaling? Is it through journaling once a week, every night? What is it for you? Is it through seeing a therapist every other week, every week? What is it for you? Creating some structure and routine around that, because they're really going to balance each other out and help you create your overall well-being so that you can hold the energy of that thing that you're calling in. And more emotions, no surprise. We're talking about the moon. We're talking about the full moon, the Queen of Cups. So again, getting curious about what it is. What am I feeling? What is creating that heightened emotional state for me, what are the beliefs around that? Recognizing that you are not your thoughts, you are not your beliefs, you are not your emotions, even sort of disconnecting from them just a bit to be aware of them and recognize, oh, this is a pattern. Oh, this is a thought. Interesting. That's interesting. Okay, I'm done with that. I'm done with that. Thank you for reminding me that I'm done with that. And this is the new thing that I want. This is what I want. This is what I'm happy that I have. And sometimes it feels like a huge leap when the pattern is so well engraved that it's just like you're just in it, and the ruminating thoughts are there and the worry is there, or the heavy emotion is there. So sometimes it's easier to shift into what you appreciate first, or what you're grateful for first, what's true now that you have, and then you can move into more of your future element, or what you're manifesting, or moving that energy even further into your future state and starting to rise into that. But I just want to acknowledge that it can be tricky to kind of switch that. And if you're there, if it feels like, oh, I'm stuck and I don't want to be stuck anymore, I encourage you maybe to pull in your five senses and start to use those. If a situation starts to happen that has happened often for you, maybe smell an essential oil, and start thinking of something that you appreciate, or maybe do like a salt scrub or something, or start to massage your feet. Bring in your senses in a way that you feel called to help move that energy, because it's time. It's time to ground your emotions. It's time to release them, because the Queen of Cups is really solid on this foundation. And no matter where the tide goes, no matter how high the water rises, she knows she's safe, and she can change her emotions when she wants to. Anything else with this? And part of that is just, along with this full moon, right, is releasing that need to control, releasing that need to want to control every little thing, right? Because when we try to do that and then we can't, and then somebody else wants to do something their way, and then we get more upset about that, that is the opposite of this card. So, right, it's releasing control, trusting, knowing that you're supported, that you do have abundance surrounding you, a plentiful array of abundance surrounding you at all times, even if you connect with it in the simplest ways, of the abundance of clean drinking water, the abundance of running water in a shower in your house, the clean abundance of having a shelter over your head. Like, connect with it in simple ways, and then bit by bit, it'll get easier to call in those bigger things. Judgment. Again, leaning into your faith and trust of the higher power that you believe in, whether you work with angels or whatever you resonate with most, knowing that you're guided and supported, and there are spiritual messages all around you always. To lean into this further, one, ask that higher power that you believe in to send you messages, and be specific about what you want to see. And watch it show up. And when it shows up, acknowledge it. Don't just say, oh, yeah, whatever, that's weird. No, acknowledge it. Maybe even write it down, and you'll get more and more and more of those that will help you to move from this darkened state into this enlightened state. And ultimately, when you do that over and over and over again, you're strengthening your awareness muscle, you're strengthening your intuition, and you're building trust in yourself, and you're building confidence in yourself, so that you can manifest whatever the fuck you want. And that is what this full moon in Leo is all about. It's all about your confidence. It's about stepping out and being bold. It's about enjoying life now in the present. This is the number 9 of Pentacles. So there's an ending of a cycle, an ending of that old cycle, that worry state that we were talking about, and really embracing who you are, what you want to do, how you want to show up, right? A simple example for me, I always wanted to dye my hair a fun color, and I never did for XYZ, whatever reason, right? And recently I did. I allowed myself to, and I think it was that night I got a pay in full client, right? So you manifest more and more and more and more easily when you do that, when you give into your curiosities, when you give into those little nudges. I wonder what would happen if, go do that freaking thing. And it's a little bit softer, it's a little bit more silent, your intuition, when it speaks to you. So again, there's that consistency and practice of that masculine energy to support you in these practices, right? Let's see. And the stones that came through that I think beautifully support this full moon energy is goldstone. So I always intuitively draw crystals before we hop on. And goldstone is a stone of ambition. It's a stone of courage, right? That lion courage, stepping out and attaining your goals, right? It is possible, but it's that consistent practice that's going to help get you there. And that's practice of faith and trust. And that practice in the feminine, the structuring those feminine activities of rest, of saying no, of setting boundaries, of divination practices and intuitive practices, or connecting to a higher power in whatever way resonates for you. That will help you do that. And rhodonite, I have small tumbler stones here tonight. Rhodonite, that is a heart stone that's going to help ease any pain, any lingering pain and hurts surrounding your heart that are blocking out love, blocking out manifestation, and to help you align with joy and pleasure and love and what's the word I'm looking for? And calm and peace in relationships and connections. I'm blanking on how to say this one. I'll put it in the review guide. Dumaterite is a stone of meditation and calm and clairvoyance, encouraging you to, again, slow down and meditate and open up communication with your higher self, open your throat chakra, speak what you want out in the world. We're going to do that tonight with some affirmations, or even journaling, right? Communicating your wants and desires and emotions and being very fluid with that process. A couple more cards here, and then we'll get into some journal work. We've got the first quarter moon in Pisces. Honor your feelings. Again, right? We already saw this earlier with the card. Honor your feelings. How do you feel right now? What emotions are coming up for you? If, like me, you're joyous and excited, lean into that a little bit more and share that with those close to you. And if it's a little bit of heaviness, a little bit of heartache or something else, identify what it is. And again, open curiosity, start asking open-ended questions around that and dive into that a little bit, and then say or write, I release this. I release this, or I surrender this over to the divine. Thank you. Pisces is a sign that connects to meditation and calmness and stillness. We have the symbol for the crown chakra here. So again, practicing time in meditation, whether that's a moving meditation, a chant that you connect with. Meditation doesn't always have to be silent, but connect with meditation in a calm space, and get still to listen to the messages that are coming in. And know that the last thing, the first quarter moon, and know that if there are challenges that have risen right now, there's a lesson for them, there's growth in them, and that's okay. And lastly, the moment I realign with love, clear direction is presented to me. The moment I realign with love, clear direction is presented to me. So those moments of fear, those moments of doubt, acknowledge the feeling. I'm afraid. I feel afraid, not I am. I feel afraid, and I choose something else. I choose again. I choose love. I love myself enough to move forward even though I'm afraid. I love myself to trust my original thought, my original calm, soft thought, instead of following the doubt. I love myself enough to follow my intuition and follow that first message that came through, because often that's how your intuition works. Okay. Go ahead and grab your journal, grab something to write with if you haven't done so already, or if you don't have it near you. And we're going to do some journaling, but first we're going to pause and connect with some breaths. So I invite you to close your eyes if that feels good for you. If not, just create a soft gaze on something ahead. Sit up nice and tall. You can shake out or move out any wiggles that you need to, and then find a place of stillness. Connect to your breath. Just notice your breath. Lay your right hand on your stomach and your left hand on your heart. Keep your eyes closed and take a big breath in. Let the belly expand, let the chest rise. Again, big inhale, let the belly expand and the chest rise. Again. And on the exhale, notice your hands moving. Notice your body moving down, the air moving out. Feel your seat beneath you. On your exhale, and say to yourself, I release, I surrender, and trust that whatever is no longer serving you will be released. Go ahead and open your eyes and grab your writing utensil. Just a couple of journal questions before we move forward. So here we go. How does your divine feminine desire to be worked with? How does the divine feminine within you desire to be worked with? Start jotting down anything that's coming up right now. As a reminder, your feminine emotions could be chaotic, could be expressive, creative, the energy of receiving, nurturing, giving. And again, one of these may resonate with you, not necessarily all of them. This is about you. How do you desire to connect with your divine feminine? Psychic abilities, connection with spirit. So write down ideas, activities, etc. regarding this. How does your divine feminine desire to be worked with? And I'll give you some time here to write. Continue writing and answering this question. And if you have a deck of cards, tarot or otherwise, oracle, whatever you have, you can also ask this question: how does my divine feminine desire to be worked with? And pull a card in whatever way you like to pull a card and see what comes up. I'll give you about another minute or so here. Beautiful. All right, next question. How does your divine masculine desire to be worked with? How does your divine masculine desire to be worked with? Usually the divine masculine is more straightforward, more ordered, structure, routine. What else? Perhaps more things that are physical or in present reality, versus the feminine might be more kind of daydreaming into the future. So your masculine, more pragmatic. So anything related to that, any kind of activities, etc. Just kind of jot and freehand whatever is kind of coming up in any area of your life, health, finance, wealth, spirituality, etc. Again, if you do have a deck, you may feel called to ask this question and draw a card. But give yourself some space to just freehand for a couple minutes and then perhaps move to your deck, because it's, again, a practice going to yourself for the answers first. You do have them. Stay open and curious to what is there and what comes up, and leave space for nothing at all to come up, and that's okay too. How does your divine masculine desire to be worked with? We'll stay with this question. I'll give you about another minute or so. How does your divine masculine desire to be worked with? Beautiful. And again, if we had attendees live, I would open up the floor to share some reflection, connection, any intuitive downloads, anything you want to share. As a reminder, you do have the group Moon Manifesting, Lunar Abundance, and I would love to see your posts in there about anything that resonates, whatever resonates, a practice that you enjoyed here, any reflection, anything at all, as you connect with this, to share into the community and invite others to do the same and see how their practice may be similar or perhaps inspire an idea for them to connect to and tap into their own inner knowing and being. So feel free to create a post in that group connected to tonight's event. All right, let's move it. So set your journal aside. We're going to move into some breath and some movement. So go ahead and stretch out. My leg's falling asleep, so I'm going to straighten my legs. Get comfortable. Do any little stretches that feel good. Sit up nice and tall. And we're going to take 3 big deep breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. I invite you to say this affirmation out loud with me now. I live in the present and release all pain from the past. I live in the present and release all pain from the past. This is the affirmation connected with this specific full moon. I live in the present and release all past pain or pain from the past. I encourage you to say it out loud because that's moving energy. It's going to help you manifest. It's going to get the ball rolling. You can say it in your mind, more powerful to say it out loud. Alternatively, you could write it down if you want to use this throughout the rest of the week. I live in the present and I release all pain from the past. Okay, let's start with breath. So start to deepen your breath. This full moon is really encouraging you to express your emotions, express what's going on in your internal state. So we're going to activate the throat chakra and call in the Demeterite stone. On your exhale, you're going to sigh out. Inhale. Sigh on the exhale. 2 more. Beautiful. We're going to invite in some movement. I'm going to start to circle the wrists and create active fingers. So kind of flex your fingers, create some energy there, some tension in the fingers and the hand as you rotate your wrists one way and then the other. Create some tension, create some movement in the hands, bringing in energy there. You think of like a tiger claw, right? Or that lion claw as you circle your wrists, connecting to that lion energy with the claws and the tension in the hands and movement in the hands. Opening up the heart chakra as we rotate the wrists. Great. Come back to stillness and center. Bring your palms together at your heart center and start to rub your hands together. Rub your hands together and create some energy. Keep your hands nearly together in front of you, right across from one another. Create a little bit of space and start to notice what's going on in between that space. Imagine an energetic ball, a ball of light, maybe, whatever you want to imagine there. And start to move your hands a little bit and add and grow this energy. Separating the hands a little bit. Now pause in stillness, keeping the hands up. Notice how your hands feel. There might be warmth, there might be tingling, there might feel like tension or pulsing. Sometimes it almost feels like when you set opposite ends of a magnet together and they're not quite going together, right? This is energy. You created energy. You're moving energy. Now that energetic ball, move your hands a little bit again. You're going to play with that. You're going to grow it. Send more energy in between the hands. You created this. This is your energy. This is your creation. Play with that visualization of that energy holding and being held in between the hands, and grow it. Grow it larger. Grow it a little bit larger. Let it surround your heart. Let it surround your chest. Grow it larger. Let it surround your whole being. You might want to raise your arms up, come down and around. Still noticing that feeling in the hands. Maybe it feels like tension. Maybe it feels like pulsing. Maybe it feels like heat. Just stay open and curious and grow that. Maybe you want to fill the whole room. You go ahead and play now with that energy. You created this. This is yours. Allow it to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Remind yourself and maybe say out loud, I live in the present and I released all pain from the past. I live in the present and I release all pain from the past. Bring your hands back together at your heart center. Rub them together again. Lay your hands on your heart center. I invite you to close your eyes if that feels good. And imagine what you want to put energy into, what you want to call into your life, an activity, a job, a financial number, a place to live, whatever it is for you, a relationship, the emotions in that relationship, getting to know yourself and trust yourself, whatever it is for you. Visualize that now, or start to think about it, or maybe speak words out loud about it. Lay your hands on your heart, feel that energy, feel that warmth growing and supporting that desire. Take a big deep breath. Close your eyes, let your hands fall down into your lap. Notice how you feel. How do you feel? Did you notice any sensations in the hands, anywhere else in the body? Take note of that now. Any sensations, any thoughts or ideas that rose up, maybe jot them down. And know that you can come back to this practice anytime. Save this recording, come back to it. You can use it every full moon if you like, or you can use it as you feel called to connect back with your courage, connect back with your heart, and realign and find balance between your divine masculine and your divine feminine. I want to thank you so much for following your intuition, trusting yourself, and showing up for you. And thank you for helping me show up in my purpose and my passion. That concludes tonight's full moon circle. I do want to share a couple of things. So I have planned a masterclass for 2/22/22 this year. It is called Fierce Feminine Freedom, and I'm going to be leading and guiding you to step into flow embrace your feminine and work with the energy of the moon. I'm going to outline for you specifically how to work with the moon energy, very practical action steps that you can take, and more spiritual and intuitive ways that you can connect with the moon energy and start to manifest exactly what you want in your life. Super excited for the Fierce Feminine Freedom Masterclass happening on 2/22. If you need details, feel free to message me and I can get those to you. I would love to host you on the 22nd this month, next week, in fact. And also, as a reminder, if you love these circles, if you love these events, and you also want to know how to create new moon rituals, how to meditate, meditating with the moon, and gain psychic guidance every week, I encourage you to join the Moon Manifesting Membership, which is a monthly subscription where you get access to these events, the full moon celebrations every month. You get access to a new moon ritual every month, meditations every month, and there's usually guest speakers and different events and knowledge, as well as weekly psychic guidance and card pulls for you. So message me if you need the link to that. You can also find it in the Facebook group. But any questions at all, feel free to reach out to me. And if you're here to dive deeper, if your intention is to really free yourself this year, really express, step boldly into your intuition, take inspired action towards your dreams to create a life that feels more aligned, feels more fulfilled, I can help you. I have a one-on-one container, Moon Magnetism, and I will teach you how to listen to yourself, how to dive in and create trust within. A lot of individuals this year have been wanting to focus on relationships, creating healthy, positive relationships. And of course, to do that, you have to have a positive relationship with yourself. And I teach you how to connect with that, connect with the moon energy, which is a course of study in self mastery. And inside moon magnetism, you get the one-on-one attention that you need to become an energetic match for what you're manifesting, to prioritize your idiosyncrasies, to listen to your intuition so that you can manifest quickly. And you're likely caught in an emotional cycle that's keeping you at your current income level or keeping you in situations where you say you don't want to be anymore. During that one-on-one specific personalized time, I help you identify those specific emotions, start to move that, and again, dive into these practical actions and these intuitive practices to manifest what you want in your life. So the next round of moon magnetism starts in March. I would love to host you. It's going to be fucking epic. There's only 4 spots available and 2 of them are taken. So I only have 2 spots left for moon magnetism in the March round. So I would love to host you. But yes, lots of love and light. I would love to see your posts about this full moon and your full moon practice inside the free Facebook community, Moon Manifesting Lunar Abundance. Lots of love and light. Happy moon manifesting.